So what's up, YouTube? We're back on the part two for the shotgun video ranking shotguns, and today we're going to be doing full auto shotguns here. Now there is actually 11 full auto shotguns up in the game, and so I guess let's get into this video. It's going to record basically how we record this. Basically, we're going to essentially just kind of yap about it, the gun itself, talk about the gun, and just have a quick plan like that. So yeah, just kind of shorten it out. But let's get into it though. And yeah, I hope y'all do enjoy it. Number 11 we have here, y'all. We have the tactical shotgun. Now, this shotgun came out all the way in Chapter 2, and this is the Chapter 2 version because this was flawed. I think the original version was not. The description of this gun is a semi-automatic, fast-firing shotgun with a large magazine, good for dealing with multiple targets. It's short range. I would say it's not really semi-automatic. It's really full automatic. Now, the shotgun went from common to legendary. As I said there, the DPS was 115, all to 141, damage 77 to 94, basically from top 30, and 1.5 fire rate, making it faster than the pump as I said up there in this pump. And so, honestly, this isn't a low up on the list just because, as I said, it has one of the slower fire rates of the shotgun. Now, it can two tap, but as I said here, compared to the other shotguns, since it does like a less fire rate, it's very inconsistent at times. It honestly was never a crazy fan of the Chapter 2 tech. I mean, I liked it. But yeah, I was saying Chapter 2 guns is really good. But compared to all the other Chapter shotguns, floral shotguns, it's not that good. And so, as I said, this is kind of why I'm ranking it, honestly. This, as I said, high up. Now, y'all, number 10, I'm going to put a little higher than this, is the Primal Shotgun. Now, I know a lot of people like the shotgun. I think all the floral shotguns are actually pretty good. I don't think any of them are bad. But I just had to rank this a little bit. As I said, I can't remember using it that much. And the shotgun went to uncommon to legendary. I believe there's a mythic version of the shotgun as well. I could be wrong. The DPS was 173, so a big improvement from the attack, all the way to 199 or 52 damage. The 60, I can't really remember this too much. It had a 3.32 fire rate, so I can't remember a lot of the shotgun. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was pretty good at the time. Number 9, we have the drum shotgun. The drum shotgun came out all the way, I'm pretty sure, like back in Chapter 1. That's when the shotgun came out. It was a very good shotgun. It was like a mix of like a shotgun slash SMG. I think it actually has the fastest fire rate. I'm pretty sure in this to this day, if any shotgun, it actually goes to uncommon to common to legendary premise of the shotgun worked. That's what it did. And we eventually got an enhanced mythic version. I think that's one of the biggest mags. Now, it also does the least damage to any shotgun in the game. So, the worst damage shotgun. If you like a shotgun that can be like an SMG, it's pretty good. But as I say, comparing it to other shotguns, like other photo shotguns, in close range, you're gonna get out competed with that shotgun. You might be able to beat most full auto shotguns in range. Honestly, I'll give you that. But other than that, it's not, as I say, crazy. But yeah, the shotgun was definitely a broken shotgun for a while. As I said, all four shotguns are pretty good though, and that's just the shotgun. Number 8 here, y'all, we have the combat shotgun from Chapter 5. Now, this shotgun it's called the modular combat shotgun, which you can put attachments on the shotgun and stuff. It was actually a pretty good shotgun. I think the shotgun is like a 3 tap. It is full auto though. Oh, actually, yeah, it is. It's full auto. I think it's a pretty good shotgun. That's kind of why it's ranked up a little bit mid up in here, just because it's not as crazy as the original shotgun. I think it's okay. I won't say it's very crazy, but it definitely has some really good range for a shotgun though. And that's just the shotgun. And number 7, y'all, we have the Maven Auto Shotgun, which went from common to legendary and also had a exotic version as well. The shotgun is a 3-shooting shotgun. The damage between the shotgun is 77 to 94, as I said, and 1.4 fire, making it actually slower than the tech, actually, in the auto, and a magazine at 6. This is the reason why it's ranked up so high, because it's less. It actually has a slower fire rate than that of the auto, but the auto does more damage, though. This is kind of why the shotgun's going to rank it. Now, in number 6 that we have here, we're almost to the top 5, is the Twin Fire Auto Shotgun. Now, this shotgun released Chapter 6, Season 1, as it says, essentially, and this thing went for common legendary. Now, it's still actually in the game, I think, to this day. It also had an enhanced version that you got from killing the boss. I forget how you get this thing now. I forgot how you get it now. But as I said, the DPS is 123 to 150. The damage is 65 to 79. So it's kind of like a mix between a double barrel shotgun and a full auto. So I think it's a first of the hybrid. It also has a 1.9 fire rate, as it's making it 0.4 faster than the actual attack and 0.5 times faster. Well, I said 0.5 plus faster than that of the Maven. And this is kind of why it's ranked up higher on this list. The reason I would rank this up a little bit lower on the list, I said high, I mean low. So because I said it's reload, I feel like it has probably the most longest reload of any shotgun in the game. It probably has a longer reload than that of the actual drum shotgun. I think a mix between drum and like the a drum, and I forgot what song I'm going to say, but yeah, that's so now y'all we're as I said at number five, and here we have one that we had mentioned earlier, but yeah, the Heisig accelerated shotgun. Now, as I said, I mean, I think it was accelerated breacher. As I said, no, I said breacher, but I'm messing my crap up. But this shotgun was essentially, I think, of the Maven Auto shotgun. And this shotgun was pretty good. I think it was still a three tap, but when you shot someone, you actually got to like shooting it. You get to move faster. I thought the gun shoots faster. Maybe it's either one of those. But I do the shotgun a lot. The shotgun's pretty good though, and that's kind of right. I rated it number five. Number four, we actually have the actual tag, well, the actual like, real life version of the tag, but we have the auto shotgun, which literally is just kind of the tag that's actually in real life. And so, as I said, this shotgun came out in chapter three, and this is pretty much like a real life tag. The tag shotgun is like its actual version, tactical shotgun. The shotgun went to common to mythic essentially, but the mythic was only creative only, so legendary really, I guess. The DPS is 126 from common to 154 to legendary. The damage is 84 to 103. As I said, this has the exact same fire rate as the attack data, 1.55 rate, because the attack fire rate didn't change in chapter 1 to the chapter 2 version. The magazine is 8, meaning it has, I think, the same time, as I said. Its critical is a 1.75. As I said, the shotgun actually could two tap, and I remember people were running at me. I remember he ran at me, and I got two tapped by the shotgun. It was so annoying. But as I said, you have to be really up close to the shotgun. As I said, as a very, I think, a very big box up in here. So as I said, compared to other fall shotguns, it's not very good. But I think its only real flaw is that you have to kind of be all the way up on someone's face. Kind of like double barrel, or like I want to say the pump. The pump has a little better range than the shotgun does. The OG one does. As I said, that's kind of now we're in the top three now. As I said, for number three spot, we have the Frenzy Auto Shotgun. Now it's right now it's called like the modular Frenzy Auto because we actually have two versions. We actually have one for what's it called? I think it's the first person one, I believe. The second one from common to legendary and had the mythic version. It was Oscar's Shotgun. Now this shotgun, when this shotgun originally came out, was very broken. As I said, he was kind of like a mix of the drone with the auto. As I said, the little thing in the shotgun, before my description of it, is a fast-firing automatic shotgun that deals considerable damage at close range and requires a lengthy reload. It does have a long reload, but it's not as bad as a stick a twin-flare shotgun, which I think was like 5 seconds it takes to reload. This thing I think takes 5.17 seconds to reload at common and 4.2, so it's like a second faster. The DPS is 153. I mean, I said 152, my bad, and 187, 61 to 75. The shotgun was very broken when it came out. Now I want to talk about the what version was the most broken? I gotta find the version of this crap. It was the version 28. This shotgun's DPS was 152 and it crap went to 187 and damage was 75. So this shotgun can literally two tap you, but it was twice almost twice as fast, 1.5 times faster than that at the attack and the auto shotgun. So this shotgun was like absolutely crazy. This is why I ranked it up higher, was just because how absolutely broken the shotgun was when it came out. Think about it, you can also get attachments on the shotgun as well, and this thing was crazy. Just imagine like it's kind of having a drum shotgun that can two tap. The shotgun was very broken, and I've tried to talk about the shotgun a little bit a lot. As I said here, probably the longest one I talk about, but I love shotgun so much. I liked it a lot. I used it. Not I don't use it crazy, but it was definitely, as I said, shotgun that I used a decent amount. It was very broken. At this time, probably the most broken shotgun this is. I would probably say it's the second most broken. And as I said, I'll kind of see this a little bit later on the list, though. And number two, y'all, we have the combat shotguns. I think it's more broken than the Frenzy Auto was. I think when we compare, I think like the Stamina shotguns, I think the Frenzy Autos, as I said, probably the best shotgun, probably the one that the best that takes no skill to use. These other shotguns might take a little bit more skill, but these shotguns can arguably be two tap as well. And so I think I think these shotguns are pretty equal though. But we have the combat shotgun chapter one version in its prime. Now, as I said, just to the shotgun, but it went to common to legendary. But actually, no, the original version actually was rare to legendary. So actually, you could only get this in three rarities, as I say. It didn't actually wasn't uncommon when it first came out. This has to be one of the most nerf guns of all time I've ever seen. It's 102 DPS to 125, 60 to 74. That's like the modern version of this. But the OG, the version 9 version of this, the original, I think season 9, this replaced the pump, by the way, if I didn't know this. The DPS was 135, and damage to 73 at rare. And as I said, the DPS for legendary was 148 and damage of 80 and magazine to 10. And so then, if we go, as I said, also the structure damage, I think to 50. So this thing could, I think I'm pretty sure like two tap wood, and it shot pretty fast. They nerfed this thing to 85 to 50 damage. So this thing went from 73 damage at rare to 50 damage. They nerfed this thing so bad. They nerfed this thing to the ground because it could two tap. And the fire was 1.7, so it was actually faster than the attack, meaning that it was a much more useful shotgun than the attack because it could two tap like the attack. But the only kind of thing you can really argue compared to the attack was that it had a very tight spread. I think it has the most tight spread of any shotgun. Actually, never mind, it doesn't. But it had the most tight spread of any Chapter 1 shotguns. A lot of Chapter 1 shotguns did not have a tight spread. They had a very wide spread. And as I said, this is where the shotgun was very good. And as I said, it also has a really good damage. It has a really good range as well compared to most shotguns. This shotgun, even Chapter 1 had a pretty good range. It had a better range, I believe, than the pump did too. And the pump had actually a pretty decent range, even though it had a very wide pellet range, and actually did hit pretty consistent as well. And so that's just the combat right there. But the Chapter 1 version 9 version of that, that's why I ranked it so high on the list. Before y'all, I say number one. I want to say the shotgun, the tac shotgun in the combat. You were probably wondering they were in the full auto shotgun. I mean, the sitting on mag list. But I also want to include them as well because you can kind of consider them both of them, I believe. So that's kind of why they're on the list. But yeah, let's get to number one though. Number one here, we have the Gatekeeper shotgun. You probably know it was going to be the Gatekeeper. This thing was the common to mythic version. The DPS was 129 to essentially 156, a damage of 76 to 92. It had three magazines, which is like its really only con. Structure damage was 92. 72 to 89. Let's say reload speed of 2.57 and a damage of 138, a critical of 114. Critical. Shotgun could two tap. It actually hit pretty hard. It's probably one of the best shotguns. I think it didn't have a crazy range, as I said up in here, but I enjoyed the Gatekeeper a lot. It kind of reminded me of a mix of a pump and a tag. Like you could shoot this thing up, like it beats almost just like a pump, but it also shot pretty fast as well. As I said, it shot at 1.75 rate, so this was faster than that of the attack and was a very good shotgun overall. And so this is why it's number one. And I hope y'all did enjoy this video, y'all. And as I said, man, I'll see the next one. And peace out. Now, y'all, we're gonna be ranking the pump shotguns today. Now, as I said, y'all, there's 8 pump shotguns in the game, and let's rank all the 8 pump shotguns. So at number 8, y'all, we have the Infiltrator shotgun. The Infiltrator pump, that's what it's called pretty much. This shotgun is a really weird hybrid. I think it's supposed to be like, as I said, like a shotgun that shot faster than the pump, but slower than the tech. And so this was the idea of this pump. Now this came out in Chapter 4, I believe, Season 3. During like that season when it came with Thorn. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not a big fan of the shotgun in general. The very weird shotgun wasn't a big fan. It's like a pump. I don't know, man. Might as well just use like a full shotgun at that point, or as the other shotgun instead of pump. And so I just feel like the shotgun was that good. And this is why I'm ranking it at number 8 though. And number 7 here, we have the Thunder Shotgun, which was like a double barrel pump mix between the shotguns as well. If you're wondering why the ammo went so quick, was because it was as I said, a double barrel. So as I said, you only had 4 shots actually, not 8, because it was a double barrel, as you can see here. The shotgun had a 0.76 fire rate, which I believe was slower than that of the pump. The shotgun could not one shot, it was 195. And as I said, the damage is like, as I said, between 92 to 118, and then the headshot, as I said, is 195. So number 6 that we have here, we have the Chapter 2 version of the pump. Now, as I said, this might be a controversial one because I think a lot of people like the pump from Chapter 2, but I wasn't a crazy fan of the Chapter 2 pump. I like the low tier design, like the common to rare version of the shotgun. The epic legendary was the Spaz, which it kind of was a combination of like the pump, like the OG pump, like the late OG pump, and then like the other pump. Kind of a new design, but yeah, I prefer the OG design more. The damage shotgun is 92 to 128 at 0.7 fire rate, so actually the Thunder had a faster fire rate, a 1.85 multiplier, and so this thing could actually hit pretty good, and I believe it actually one pump. I think it hit. I forgot how hard this shotgun did hit, but I think it exactly one pump though. I can't remember the actual damage. It's been a while since I played Chapter 2. I mean, of course, because it's been very long. But that's just that shotgun for y'all. Number 5, y'all, we have the Sentinel Pump, which came out Chapter 6. I like to design of the shotgun a little bit. The shotgun actually doesn't, I believe, once. I think it's like one. I forgot the damage the shotgun is. Now, this goes to common to legendary and has a mythic enhanced version of the shotgun. I like the shotgun right now, as I said, man. I like it. It's really good in the close range. As I said, I ranked this over the OG pump just because, as I said, I prefer it over that. I think I like the design a little more. I said the OG pump, my fault. The Chapter 2 version of the pump. But yeah, I just like the shotgun in general. Number 4, y'all, we have the Hammer Pump shotgun that came on Chapter 5. Shotgun went to common to legendary as well. There's also, as I said, had the mythic Peter Griffin. Now, as I said, I think the shotgun as a whole, I wasn't that crazy from the shotgun. I'll keep it real. I'll probably rank it like maybe number 6. If it wasn't for the mythic, it's gonna rank this high because I really enjoyed Peter Griffin's shotgun. I think shotgun, it felt crazy. I felt like that thing had range. It was very good. And as I said, the damage is 85 to 103. The fire rate 0.7, so I think it's the pump essentially. But yeah, I like the Hammer a lot. I think the design is a really decent design. But yeah, I did like Peter Griffin's a lot, and as I said, I did enjoy the shotgun. As I said, number 3, y'all, we have the Havoc pump slash this charge shotgun. I forgot to rank the charge shotgun in the video, so I'm gonna rank it at the same tier. Now both these shotguns can one shot. Let's start with the Havoc first. Now the Havoc was the first shotgun in a while to one shot. I'm pretty sure since the charge shotgun was too. Now this thing can actually hit 249. So I think it's actually this. I believe the second hardest hitting shotgun of all time, right under the pump, the OG pump. And so as I said, this thing hit like I think around 250. I feel like it hit 250. So he actually had some pretty good range. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I wasn't a big fan, but I'm seeing some clips of people just getting absolutely obliterated by the shotgun. I know like some box fights, I was really good with the shotgun. That's just that. And I was kind of getting to the charge now. The charge shotgun could also pump as well, but you had to charge it up though. And I actually do believe this shotgun though. I think both of the legendary versions could actually one shot as well. And so the charge was pretty good as well. Number two, y'all, I have my favorite shotgun up in here. I think the favorite looking shotgun in the game. We have the Striker Pump. Now, this shotgun was introduced in Chapter 3, Season 1. So this is kind of the version of pump that they had in this. This shotgun goes from 91 damage to 116 at 0.65 of fire rate. So it's slower than that of the pump, but I'm pretty sure it has a little better range. It has a 5 just like the pump did. As I said, at a 1.85 as I said critical damage. And as I said, that's really just that this time. The shotgun actually I think has some decent range. This is actually my second favorite shotgun just because I really enjoyed this shotgun a lot. I loved it a lot. And that's just my opinion of the shotgun though. Now let's move on to at number one here, y'all. As I said, have no surprise, but we have the OG pump, the Chapter 1 pump. Now, there's actually two OG pumps. So we're gonna say the OG pump slash the OG spaz up in here. But I'm talking about the OG pump real quick first again. Now this shotgun actually was very crazy as this shotgun had a 2.5 damage multiplier, meaning that this shotgun, as I said in common, could literally one shot at 237, and I'm pretty sure at uncommon it was 225. So this thing was very broken, and it had a rare version. But I forgot how much the rare did. But it was a very broken shotgun. The shotgun also had a 0.85 fire rate, a 5.34 reloading time, and a 5 magazine. And then the purple and legendary version, which came out later in chapter towards the end of chapter 1, get the pump back, and this was with the spaz instead. I'm not sure if the purple version could actually one shot. I can't remember that if it could one shot or not, but its actual load speed was 4.66. And as I said, I can't remember a lot of as I said, the spaz version of the pump, that version of the pump, like the re-added version of the pump. But I think I think the legendary hit 203, so they had nerfed it by a bunch at this time. This is what kind of ranking up in here, and that's kind of the pump. So I'm gonna tell you about my overall rating, and then we're gonna end the video here though for the shotguns. But as I said, I think in my overall opinion, I had the OG pump. I like the OG pump sound. I think it actually is my second favorite sound in the shotgun. I will say I think it has a pretty good looking design of the shotgun itself. The damage was probably the best out of any shotgun. I think it does the most damage, I believe, out of any shotgun, I believe. Actually, I think the Havoc does more damage than the shotgun does. But yeah, pretty good though. And it's not gonna lie, it actually has a pretty good range as well for a shotgun that had a very big pellet range. Um, I'm taking second place to the double barrel shotgun. As I said, I want to put the comment up here, but I actually didn't put them on the list. But I'm just talking about overall that I actually have one here, which is probably about a month ago. But the double barrel, I think, is the best sounding shotgun of all time. And as I said, number one is a GateKeeper, just because you can use it kind of as a pump, and it's very good overall. I think in general. And my honorable mention, I will say up here, which I should have mentioned before I mentioned third place, but is the combat shotgun, the OG one that can two tap that replaced the pump. I really love that shotgun a lot. I like both the shotguns. And as I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And as I said, I think the next one that we're gonna do is gonna be the ARs, and that should be a very long one because, as I said, there's not different types of ARs, but we should do that in one video though. And I hope y'all did enjoy this video. And I'll see you in the next one. And peace out.